I'm too leveraged, told them all to hedge. They never measured, now they crying while I'm counting blessings. I've been chopping pain, turned it to lessons. Ain't no patience left, no second guessing. About to fear they panic and regression. Market demons always testing, but I move like I got inside a confession. Everybody around me stay complacent, talking dreams but they never trace shit. I don't chase the bag, I let it chase me. Crypto wallets look like daydreams, yeah. I made my bed on a mountain of risk. Dreams in my ledger, blood on my wrist. Every lost card a crown that I wear, now I profit off despair. Ooh, they try to show up me, I made them believers. Turn drawdowns into golden receivers. You can hate me, but you'll quote my lines. Every candle burns in time. Last year I was broke, but I saw the vision. This year I'm a god in my own division. Yeah, these haters show their dreams without precision. Now they marching called into submission. Don't believe the noise, I'm still a winner. Still flip draws into steak dinner. Still ride waves like I'm built of glitter. I'm the villain in my Discord ticker. Everybody paper hand, everybody panic. I just access living cinematic. Get a charge crash, jump off the static. You can't scare me with a red line tragic. Roll some, think I roll some. High as fuck, to cope some till the lows come. Charts crash, but I rise. Every bear's just a setup for my next high. Woo! My broker said I made it big, it's unusual. They screenshot my gains like they're confessional. Used to trade from basements, now I own a building. Yeah. Used to chase highs, now I print the feeling.
Oh, brother, oh, brother, oh, brother. Good morning, and welcome back to another episode of the Matt Kohrs Show, where we're wearing the Lucky Buffalo shirt because the market is back to rippity-skippity-doo-dying to the upside. Looks like things are skyrocketing simply because Trump said, hey, you know all those tariffs that I was threatening against Europe because of the whole Greenland thing? Well, I'm done with those. That was the big development yesterday after all the Davos speeches, this, that, the other thing. So right now they have the idea of a framework that apparently all involved are pretty happy with. And you see that the market is basically in, I guess, simultaneously across all markets, breathing a sigh of relief. In fact, the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ gapping up from yesterday's high, volatility getting crushed, and we actually just see a lot of flow into the small cap sector, into the SMH, the world of SMH, AI play basically is the best way to explain it. We have a lot going on, so I'm very excited for this Thursday, but it isn't just a normal Thursday. In fact, for those of you who think it's a normal Thursday, you're not reading. You didn't open your eyes, because it is in fact a Payday Friday Thursday. There is just too much to celebrate right now. Obviously the recent pop in the market, that's exciting. I made a bunch of money yesterday. You guys made even more money. Huge congrats to you. We just launched the newest improved version of the Goonie Trading Discord. So that's awesome. A lot of love already there. Thank you. Pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video. You can get in for your first month for free if you use that code Davos, DAVOS. As I said yesterday, it was expiring at midnight. I kicked it ahead by one more day because just too many people are like, dude, I don't know what I'm doing. I have time to get it figured out. And yes, there were a couple technical issues, so I just wanted to extend it by a little bit. The reason I'm giving away a free month is because it's not perfect right now. I fully admit it as the person running it, operating it, owning it. It's not exactly where I want it to be. So the free month is saying, hey, not only can you get in for free and just kind of see what it's about, but it's giving me an opportunity to kind of show you what I can do and to build out the other things that I want to be in the Discord. Already this morning, Not only did we do our daily just write up of the major levels that I'm looking for, we were a little bit in voice chat, bouncing some ideas off of each other. And of course, we're going to be doing that again later on today. So like I said, it is a freebie. Try pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video. All you have to do is use that code Davos, DAVOS, and you'll be in for an entire month for free. And the system, if you ever try to hook up before and you had to go through that syncing process and you had issues, it is 99% more simple now. So I think there's going to be a lot less problems. So if you just had those technical issues, just give this one a whirl. I think it's going to be far easier. So we're celebrating that, the market bouncing back, making a bunch of money. So it just feels like, and I guess also I'm just like personally really stoked about how these Apex accounts are going. I know many of you watching this right now have been on the journey with me ever since October until this point for this batch of 15 Apex accounts that I'm this close to doubling up on. They all started at 50K. They're all almost at $100,000 as in 100% return, almost 2xing the account. So very excited there. And I did post a video kind of asking for people's feedback on what they thought I should do with the money. And I would love to talk with all of you about that today. Hopefully we'll do that when things are maybe a little bit more quiet after we lock in some of our gains today, because I do have a couple things I want to break down just to give you a recap of the Trump, WEF, Davos, Greenland update. I want to lay out some of the major levels to pay attention to, some of the things for next week. So I just want to kind of do my job here and get you guys ready for what's probably going to be an upcoming, ideally very bullish day, but obviously let's find out. Dow futures rise 150 points as stocks rebound for a second day after Trump calls off Greenland-related tariffs. That was the big update of yesterday. I don't know why they're referring to the Dow. No one really cares about the Dow, but more importantly, the S&P 500 clearly up. The Nasdaq clearly up. Volatility clearly down. Bitcoin actually did get a pretty decent bounce, got up to 90,000. But what's exciting, like AMD had a crazy day yesterday, up 7.7%. Nvidia up almost 3%. Tesla almost up 3%. Apple even had a green day. Meta even had a green day. Just obviously quite a bit of enthusiasm returning to the market. And right now, based on like kind of what I'm seeing, even just a quick look at the daily structure, the evident play, and I'm going to get more into the details of this, is the upside gap fill. So you have the upside gap fill at 6925, and then I'm looking for the closing value around 6940. So depending on where you want to say the gap, yes or no, you could look at the daily chart or you could look at something like this and then it would be 40. So we're basically either looking at 25 or 40. I love that zone, and above it, hey, that's just gravy on top. Inside Trump's head-spinning Greenland U-turn, President rules out using force to take control of Greenland and calls off promised tariffs on European nations. The fact that anyone at any moment in time thought that Trump was going to use force to take Greenland kind of blows my mind. But hey, I guess that just shows the power of media. Anyway, if you missed all the drama yesterday, what had happened was Trump was in Davos for the World Economic Forum very, very early on. He did, an hour and a half speech, just basically torching everyone, basically saying, hey, don't you dare say something negative about us when you're really only a country operating the way you are because of us. You're all more than happy to take our dollars, to take our support, to take our security, to look to us in every single time of need. How dare you ever do something negative? Be a little bit more grateful. That was pretty much the tone of it. Literally calling out other world leaders by their first name, which I thought was uniquely funny. But anyway, that was in the morning. Midday, there he took part in some like business conference, and then really he was talking to the right here, Secretary General of NATO. It was in this conversation that he basically said, hey, we're not going to be doing tariffs anymore. We've come to a framework that we enjoy. All they had to do is consummate the, relationship, which when you go from that into the fact that you realize that they're now building a golden dome. So we're going from dome talk to consummating the relationship. I don't know, call me old fashioned, but I generally like all of these giant political decisions to be done without sexual favors. But hey, like I said, maybe I'm a prude, maybe I'm a Puritan, but that is where we are at. So Trump and I guess, what's his name? Mark. So you have Donald and Mark, they're consummating it. And then somehow the leaders of Denmark, they're getting Golden Dome. I don't know who from, but apparently this is all good to send the market to not new all-time highs, but we are pretty much on that path. Denmark open to Golden Dome talks after Trump touts framework Greenland deal. So basically, we went from this giant position of uncertainty, a little bit of unease, as I've been calling out for this entire debacle. I thought people were overreacting because we've had this playbook for an entire year now, literally an entire year. We know that Trump comes in heavy-handed, hyperbolic, bombastic, then we get clarity, things settle down, and the market skyrockets right back to where it was. And yeah, some of the time frames, it's not always this quick. Sometimes it's quicker, sometimes it's slower, but it's the exact same playbook. And if at this point it's surprising you after we've seen it play out 19 times, well, I don't know. Maybe you're just not as good at pattern recognition as you thought you were. So pretty easy play, and I very much hope you got a piece of yours. Trump says Greenland framework with NATO involves mineral rights for U.S. So following up later in the day, Trump was speaking with Kernan of CNBC, and there were some specific questions. And right now, it doesn't seem like we have too many details on what this framework's going to be. But right here, President Donald Trump told CNBC the framework in Greenland involves mineral rights and the Golden Dome. But with the mineral rights, he said everyone has rare earth minerals. They're not that rare. So he seemed to not care that much about it. He seemed to care more about this Golden Dome. Trump said framework deal would last forever. So I guess just similar to when people signed the deal with Scientology, that they're going to be there for the next billion years. I guess that's one of those style of deals. Greenland ranks 8th in the world of rare earth reserves, according to the Center for Strategic and International Studies. So as much as mainstream media is leaning into the mineral rights, Trump, I mean, you can listen to it for yourself. He was very much downplaying it. He didn't really seem to care that much about it. So I just want to throw that out there. When we have a little time, we could come back to this. Mark, the Secretary General of NATO, says Trump Greenland plan involved no sovereignty talk. So once again, even though the market's already reacting like it's a done deal, there's definitely some unknowns. And because of this whole debacle, not just yesterday, but the whole thing, obviously, unless you've been living under a rock, you know that precious metals, specifically gold and silver, are ripping. Goldman raises year-end gold forecast to 5,400, currently trading at 4,800, hitting an all-time high yesterday. So even with tensions calming down, we're still within spitting distance of that new all-time high. And currently the year-to-date return, which, let me remind you, we're only 22 calendar days into the year, is up 11%. And what's crazier than that is silver, which hit an all-time high on Tuesday, and its year-to-date return is 31%. That is crazy. 31%. And we're only into the year 22 days. Obviously, not even that many trading days. And then when you compare that to the S&P 500, which is actually break even year to date. Gold up in excess of 10, silver up in excess of 30, market break even. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. I know just from reading chat over here that a lot of you have been riding the gold and the silver train for a while. I myself, I'm in it. I don't have as much exposure to it as I would like, but I'm not going to chase it at these new highs. So I feel like I kind of missed the boat on that one. So I'm going to have to live vicariously through all of you who are getting all of your gains there. Like seriously, a massive, massive, massive congrats. So that's pretty much the skinny on the situation. In terms of today, GDP did come out higher than expected. That's a good number. Initial jobless claims pretty much at expectation. And I do want to let you know at 10 a.m. today, 30 minutes into the trading session, we're getting another inflation report. If this comes in at expectation or cooler than expected, as in lower than expected, this is exactly the match we need. The gasoline's already there. This would be the match we need, putting this all together to get those upside gap fills, whether you're looking at 6925 or 6940, or even if you're saying, hey man, I'm looking for the new all-time high at 6986 on SPX. This is kind of the setup we need. And yes, there's earnings. I'll be covering that in a second. And yes, we have some PMI numbers, but today is like the last major day of announcements until next week, where on Wednesday, January the 28th, we're getting another FOMC decision. The Federal Open Market Committee is basically with 95% odds, at least according to the Fed Watch tool, we're going to stay at 3.5%. Currently, at the moment that we're doing this stream, the Fed tool is saying, hey, we're at 3.5%, 95% chance that we stay at 3.5%. According to Polymarket, there's a 98% chance that we're staying at 3.5%. So whether you want to take the 95% odds or the 98% odds, right now, don't hold your breath on a rate cut or a rate hike. The market at this point in time is very, very certain nothing will be happening in this FOMC meeting in terms of the Fed fund rate. Of course, there's going to be a lot of updates and opinions, and people are going to care about the minutes, and people are very much going to care about the press conference. So that, if you look at spot gambling, you see the next spike in volatility, it is because of the 28th. So I would say that's the next major thing to put on your radar. Of course, as a day trader, intraday trader, scalp trader, something like that, you're going to want to pay attention to the 10 a.m. PCE report. But if you're more of like a medium-term swing trader, I would say this is the next major thing to put on your radar. There might be some surprises. Who will Trump nominate as Fed chair? The odds of this are all over. The market is really having a tough time understanding who Trump is most likely going to nominate. For a while, it was Kevin Hassett. Then it was Kevin Warsh, but ever since Davos, the Kevin Warsh odds are dropping, and Rick Rieder, he's starting to spike up. So right now, the market is not sure what's going on. So we're told time and time again that the announcement is coming out, quote unquote, soon. I don't really know what it means in the context. Is it soon for the life of a tortoise or soon for the life of a fruit fly? I don't know. But right now, the market is not really clear. So we might be getting that update soon. So I know we're talking a lot about the major macroeconomic situation, but I do want to remind you, we are still in earnings season. Netflix didn't do so well. United didn't do so well. For really today, after the market closes, Intel, Capital One, you do have SLB. Not the most exciting names this week, but it does get a bit better next week. So I just want to remind you, we're in the second week of earnings season. We have about 4 more to go. So please, especially if you're playing individual equities, something like that, please pay attention. And on that note, I'm not seeing enough people talk about this, especially a shout out to Profit here. Starting next week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, those are going to be the expiration dates of the Mag 7 names. This is a big, big update to the way the world options function. Right now, you can get daily expiration for things like SPX, NDX, VIX, all those European style options. This is the final week where there's just going to be Friday expirations on all those popular names. From here on out, starting next week, this is your public service announcement. This is your FYI. This is a big deal, a huge deal. The Mag 7 names are going to have expirations not just on Fridays, but also Mondays and Wednesdays. So it's not going to have 0 DTEs, but it's going to have basically 3 out of the 5 trading days, it will have an expiration, obviously skipping Tuesday and Thursday. It's also, as of now, going to be excluding their earnings days, just so you know. But right now, this is the final week of it. The life's about to get a little bit more crazy. So once again, starting on the 26th, the Mag 7 names are going to have Monday, Wednesday, and Friday options expirations. Pretty big deal. I saw this. I thought this was interesting. I wanted to ask you guys. OpenAI's Altman meets a Mid-East investor for $50 billion round. It is assumed, rumored, that OpenAI will be going public either at the end of this year or the start of next year. Same thing with SpaceX. My question to you guys is, if OpenAI were to go public, let's say next week, would you be buying it? I don't mean this rhetorically. I mean this very honestly, earnestly, I don't know. I'm curious. And I guess I'm asking the same question also for SpaceX. If it were to IPO, let's say today, would you be a bull, a bear? Would you not touch it? For OpenAI and SpaceX, would you guys be into it? Or do you think that it's no, definitely not. Don't use them. No, they're going broke. No, definitely buying some as soon as the IPOs. No, they make no money. Yes. What about SpaceX though? So I'm seeing a lot of no's for OpenAI, which honestly is catching me a little bit by surprise. I thought there'd be more interest in it. But what about SpaceX? A lot yes to SpaceX. Interesting. I would not have predicted that there's so much interest in SpaceX and such a lack of interest in OpenAI. SpaceX, yes. Interesting. Interesting. You guys are kind of blowing my mind a little bit with that. I would not have predicted that. Okay, good to know. It gives me an idea of like what content I should be covering and what content I should not be covering. I do appreciate they're all liars. Maybe yes, maybe no. Folks, if you haven't already, sign up for the newsletter. It is free. It's in the description of the video. Every single Sunday, I break down what's going on in the market, cheat sheet for all the earnings, cheat sheet for all the major macroeconomic events. The other thing we are waiting for today, Thursday, January the 22nd, is the PCE inflation update. We get it at 10 a.m. today. And then I also give you the seasonality for each individual trading day. Over the past 27 years, this day is neutral. There's been bearish periods. There's been bullish periods. There's been bearish periods. There's been bullish periods. This day does not have a clear bullish or bearish skew. The recent data is bullish, but right before that was bearish, and right before that it was bullish, and right before that it was bearish. So obviously it kind of nets out to being neutral. But once again, this is on 27, 28 years worth of data. If you look at the last 3 to 5 years, it is actually clearly bullish. So please do whatever you want. And to conclude the week tomorrow, it is leaning a little bit more bullish, kind of as choppy, but a little bit less to the bearish side of chop, a little bit more bullish. And the recent regime has been around for a little bit longer. So I would say today is very much neutral. Tomorrow's neutral, leaning bullish. So just want you, especially for the day traders and scalp traders in here, to know what is what. Which brings me to today specifically. If the market were to open right now, we'd be at 6923. This is the Gamma tool, obviously the Gamma map from Spot Gamma. And there's a couple of things that jump out to me right away. So we could go to the daily chart. First of all, I don't know how you could argue this isn't bullish. We have higher highs, we have higher lows. Every single time we dip into the 50 EMA, it is bought up. Dip, bought, dip, bought, dip, bought, dip, bought, dip. Maybe bought. It's already showing early signs of people wanting to buy it. Will it happen today? Will it happen this week? Will it happen next week? Will it happen at all? Obviously, I'll tell you better in a month. But what I could see just historically of how this has played out, especially through the lens of the news going on right now, as in the Greenland situation no longer becoming a situation, I'm really liking the concept of the upside gap fill to either the low from Friday the 16th at 6925, or if you want to be a little bit more aggressive, technically there's a gap all the way up to 6940, which is the closing value. We still have this gap. So you're going to see different gaps based on the daily chart versus the intraday chart. So I do want you to be mindful of 25 and of 40. And surprise, surprise, where are people positioned? Well, right here, they're positioned at 25 and they're positioned at 40. So literally, we're already seeing big money positioned at those two key levels to the upside. Now, in the event that we're able to take out 25, to take out 40, this is a pretty clear zone, 40 to 50 in here. The breakout from there would be 75 to 85. Not only do we see quite a bit of positive gamma up there, so like that's going to be pretty serious resistance. I also want to point out the fact that that means we're literally flirting with an all-time high. So for the bull case of the day, if you happen to be bullish, basically we would just be mindful of the downside gap fill. Like I said, if the market were to open right now, we'd be at 6922. There's a downside gap fill to 6910. That was the high from yesterday. So please be mindful of that. But assuming that we either hold there or 900 or 75, as long as we're holding that zone, 25, the daily upside gap fill, 40 would be the intraday gap fill. And then from there, the pop to basically battling it out with the all-time high. I would love to be basically scaling out through that entire push. Obviously, my bias is bullish, but that doesn't mean I can't change it intraday. Of course, you have to take the data as it comes into you. So I think it's very, very useful as an active trader to kind of be paying attention to what the other case might be. And in this case, the other case would kind of start if we're not holding 6,900 and we push to 75. That could be a quick little scalp trade, the old green to red test. From there, if we do not hold 75, I'd be looking at 50. And then if we don't hold 50, I'd be looking at 6,800. I think that case, as in the bear case of the day, is less likely, but not impossible. So I do think it's very healthy to, instead of predict, oh, I got to be bullish, I got to be bearish, just react to what is playing out. So every single day, I do prepare a bull case and a bear case. And in fact, I break that down. Hang on, let me switch this up over here so you guys can see it. Every single morning in the Discord, I break down exactly what I'm seeing on the day. The key levels, the positioning, where I see the large players, the zero DT. I look at SPX, SPY, QQQ, IWM. I look at what's going on in the New York Stock Exchange. I look at options for the Mag 7. I lay out my case, my bull case, my bear case, and my thoughts on the day. Literally every single day that's going on in there. This morning, I was kind of bouncing some of those ideas off the people who are already in the Discord, kind of talking about what they were seeing, what I was seeing. So I just want to be clear. I do not think it's healthy as a trader to say, this is the case and I'm sticking to this every single day. No, of course, I think it's best to, what would the bulls be looking for? What would the bears be looking for? And then as the market gets going on the day, you could start to see the options flow. You could start to see the positioning. You can see where all the players are lined up. And then all of a sudden you might be getting a better feel of what one of the cases is more likely. So going into this, my bias is bullish. If you are in the swing section of the Discord, you know I have a lot of puts sold right now. That is a neutral to bullish bet. I've sold puts on SPX, SPY, QQQ, IWM, and Tesla. Today, I think one of the most solid setups. I'll give this away as a freebie. We don't always do this, but my freebie call of the day, one of the top things, like I said, this is generally just for the Discord, Google put credit spreads. This is my top watch of the day for my swing positions is Google, Googl, Google, aka Alphabet, put credit spreads, which is a neutral to bullish bet. I am looking to sell puts somewhere down in this region and looking for Google either to go sideways, up, or if it does go down, hopefully not down that much. But putting this all together, looking at the flow, seeing how some things are playing out, I could show you Google's flow from yesterday, decently strong. In terms of where my swing bot fired, Google was one of the few that it fired on, but looking at the rest of the setup with Google, we're doing that. What's new about the Discord? It looks the same. Well, the main thing here is it's a whole new set. Like, this does not look the same. There's a whole new setup, a whole new connection process. And then from here, we're going to be building out a couple extra things in here just on the dashboard, people, for getting into it, and just like some educational videos, this, that, the other thing. But then the things coming into the Discord, well, you could see there's already daily commentary, there's the voice chats, there's the written chats, there's all the updates of my swing trades, all the updates of my 0DT trades. Obviously here on the stream, you see all my futures trades. And then what's going to be coming next, just to, I guess, give you guys a little bit of a sneak peek, a little bit of a preview, is we have various bots that are going to be built out on PineScript. They're going to start off the concept of just, okay, like, what's the momentum? When's the momentum shifting? Auto alerts are going to be coming in. So the way there's a news feed of all the breaking news, we're going to be doing kind of like a news feed, but almost for price development. So momentum. And then from there, we have some other bot stuff that's going to be like kind of in the second regime of it. But for any of those of you who are curious, I don't want anyone to feel like they like got punked or something like that. That's why the entire first month is free with that code Davos, DAVOS. And today is a perfect day to do it, because we're going to be doing a giveaway. So we're giving away 15 prop accounts today and $250 cold hard cash. So 5 of them will be given away on Twitter. 10 of them will be given away in the Discord. And if you're in the Discord or on Twitter, you can double dip. So if you have a Twitter, if you want to get in the Discord, it's free right now, because you can get into the Discord for free with the code Davos. Twitter itself is already free. All you have to do is like, retweet, and follow. That's obviously for the 5 that are going to be allotted to Twitter. And then we're going to have 10 allotted to the world of Discord. Those 15 people will then be in a marbles race competing for the $250 of cold hard cash. So we're just, I don't know, kind of celebrating the newest variant of the Discord, celebrating the market turning around, celebrating making so much money yesterday, celebrating the new year, celebrating the fact that I'm getting a haircut today. There's just a lot to celebrate. Where do I find the Discord link? Pinned to the top of chat. Right there, Goonie Discord, free month with code Davos, DAVOS. Feel free if you want to pay from the get-go. I mean, I guess you can. I'm not going to stop you. But if you want it, if you want the first month free, put in that code Davos, like, clearly. So with that all in mind, that's the setup on the day. Like I said, my bias is bullish. Be mindful of the downside gap fill. Please be mindful of the downside gap fill. I would prefer that we fill that right out of the gate. It would make the life of the bull camp far, far easier today. But let's see what in the world we have going on. Very quickly, as the market's about to open in 20 seconds, what do you guys want over here today in the top right and in the bottom right? What equities are you watching? What commodities are you watching? Obviously, I know a lot of you want the SPY and the Qs on the left side. Please comment, what do you want on the right side? Do you want volatility? Do you want gold? Do you want silver? Do you want Tesla? Do you want AMD? Do you want Google? Do you want NVIDIA? What do you want? Please let me know, let me know, let me know. And on that note, dingity ding ding ding, the world's largest casino is open. Best of luck to all, play responsibly, and if not, have fun. All right, the casino doors are open. Now remember, the daily gap fill on the daily chart is 6925.09. That is the low from Friday, January the 16th, upside gap fill. But today, we also have a downside gap fill. So we're kind of like awkwardly in the middle. And I actually think there is a very, very real chance that this gets filled, both of these get filled today. Upside gap fill 6925.09. So we're going to turn that on. And then right here, we're going to add an alert. So I'm hoping that the chart gets cleaned up. Instead of getting this top one first, I would have preferred that we got the bottom one base there and then popped all the way up. There is a little bit of exuberance I'm already seeing this morning, at least in the SPY, not necessarily in the world of NASDAQ. Tesla's taking a little bit of a hit. Volatility is pretty low at 16, so we might as well take that off the chart. Google getting hit out of the gate. We just got the daily upside gap fill. If you're looking intraday, there is another gap fill up to 6940, just so everyone knows. Once again, that's an intraday gap fill. So daily gap fill, we just hit it. We have not, hang on, crossing down. So we're still waiting. One of these got cleaned up already today. We are waiting on this bottom one, which would be right here, 6910, which is where we hit at what time yesterday? Around 3 p.m. Literally at the start of power hour. That was the high of yesterday. Obviously, you have a little bit of a gap right here, which sometimes I will go long without the gap being filled. It's not my favorite play at all. Watching Elon at Davos at 10:30. Elon is speaking at Davos at 10:30. Can we get confirmation on that? Because if so, 100% we're going to be doing that. 100% I want to listen to Elon at Davos. Can we get a little bit of confirmation? A little bit of confirmation. Oh, if you're in the Discord, my IWM play just hit its profit target. Hang on, let me put that in. What I do, for those maybe just a little bit of context, for example, what I try to do at least, is right here. You can see I just got the alert of this getting a fill on IWM. So what I do is, as soon as I just try to be transparent, whether I'm getting entries or exits, as soon as that happens, I just got it. Technically, I guess it fired off at 9:32. I try to be as quick as I can, just a quick screenshot. The whole point of the Discord is not necessarily to just be like, look I'm always making money, because I don't always make money. Sometimes I actually have losers, but I do try to keep everyone updated as quick as I possibly can. Here, IWM profit hit. What just happened? I got another alert. Google is apparently breaking out. Google is breaking out. Google, the old Googler. Tesla coming down a little bit. Google looking a bit better. SPY's up. We have the NASDAQ down here. Let me reload this. Here's a look at some of our levels on the day. Kind of a weird differential depending on how the delta decays on the day. You have some negative gamma over here and you have some positive gamma up here. We did hit 2.5, the first upside gap fill for the daily chart, and then 940, this positive gamma node, would be the intraday one. What do we have going over here? Welcome. All right, a little bit of a base there on the Qs. 5-minute bullish, 10-minute bullish, 30-minute bullish, 4-hour bullish. The momentum on the S&P 500 daily chart all the way down to the 5-minute chart is without a doubt bullish. The NASDAQ 5-minute is actually testing bearish. 10-minute is testing right now. 30-minute is bullish, 4 hours bullish, and daily is bullish. So the S&P 500 is strong across the board. The NASDAQ, at least as of market open, is showing a little bit of weakness. See how this 5-minute is kind of testing, the 10-minute just tested. And this might just be a dip buy. I'm not saying it's actually going to break down, but I'm just letting you know. S&P 500 on a relative basis is stronger. Looking at the flow on the day, this is real-time flow. The Mag 7 is being bought. That delta is popping, while the S&P 500 is pretty much flat. We are doing a Payday Friday today to celebrate Thursday. Just a lot of good things. And also, I won't be able to stream tomorrow. Your boy's got to get his butt on a way to LA. So I'm going to the West Coast tomorrow, so that's going to kind of mess up a bit of the stream. So I figured instead of skipping a Payday Friday, why don't we just run it a little bit earlier? So that's what we're doing today. We're giving away 15 prop accounts and $250 of cold hard cash. 5 will be from Twitter. Feel free to enter. 10 will be from Discord. It is free for everyone to join for the first month with that code Davos. Shout out to Apex, last day of their deal with code Goonie. FFN's running a crazy deal, code Goonie, and Lucid is running a crazy deal with their new one, Lucid Black. But I have to admit, I think I like the Flex better, but that's just a personal opinion. Once again, code Goonie. So I like Apex. First of all, the deal's ending today. You can have up to 20 accounts, so lots of capital. FFN is probably one of the cheapest accounts because of the 50% off and the BOGO and the no activation fee. And then what I like about Lucid is that there's no consistency and you can run up the Lucid Flex accounts as much as you want. So the other ones do have consistency. FFN's very cheap, but you get more capital. So I think they all kind of has pros and cons. And I guess just to be completely honest with all of you, I use all of them and I try to play the pros and cons off of each other. So I like Take Profit because you get daily payouts. I like Apex because you get so many accounts and so much capital. FFN is dirt cheap. And then Lucid has great rules, like great consistency rules and very fast payouts. So you can't get paid out every single day the way you can with Take Profit, but the approvals for the payouts are generally less than an hour, sometimes even like 15 minutes. So once again, they all have their little pros and cons. And instead of just being beholden to one and saying this is like the end all be all and I refuse to touch any other one, no, just take the advantages of each one and like use it to the best of your ability. We're seeing a little bit of a smack here. Please, 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 please be mindful of this downside gap fill to 910. Life would be far, far easier if we hit 910. And if you're bullish, you probably don't want to hear me say this. Honestly, a base at 6,900 would actually make me really comfortable. So I know that involves a drop of 20 points here, and maybe you're already bullish and you don't want that to happen. I understand, but on the flip side, if you have no position and we make a base at 910 or make a base at 900 and start to pop off of that and we see some solid options flow, that could be a beautiful A+ entry. So I'm just trying to be patient. I'm not trying to rush anything today. Just trying to see how things really play out. You don't use Top Step. Is there a reason for that? Are they not good? Well, Project X is horrible. They have more down days with technical issues than they have up days. So that's my main issue. I would say that's 95% of the problem. And then the other 5% of the problem, I just don't like the behavior of the people representing the company, the CEO, and also one of their lead coaches, whatever the hell his name is. I think they're just asshats. I think they're very rude. I think they intentionally teach trading in a way that's going to cause people to blow out. But once again, like I say, that's only about 5% of the problem, because I understand the argument, the counter argument to that would be, oh, just don't listen to them. The platform's the platform. So really 95% of my issue with Top Step is their platform from a technical perspective is garbage, like absolute garbage. But just because I'm not a fan of it, I want to be fair and I want to be balanced. A lot of people have really easy payouts with them. So I'm not saying it's completely bad. I know a lot of people get their payouts approved. They get their payouts approved quickly, like that type of a thing. So I don't want to completely trash them, but for me, it's a no. But if you choose, if you're like, you know what, I don't care about the coaches, I don't care about the CEO, I like the rules and I like their payouts, I understand it. I would argue that Lucid has all of that, but better in terms of, hey, good rule sets, really quick payouts. So I would say Lucid's a better option. If you're looking to save money, FFN's great. If you're looking to save money with a huge amount of capital exposure, because you could have up to 20 accounts on Apex, Apex is solid. I mean, I use all three, but I do want to let you know the Apex deal is ending today. I've just started with Lucid. This is my first week thus far. Nothing negative to say. I'm trying to learn about all the different plans. I know Lucid Black is the brand new one. For me, in my trading style, I like the Lucid Flex better. But once again, that's very, that's a personal opinion, and it more so relates to my trading style. SPY is going right back up. This might be a double top. This might be one of those fake out like pops to the upside, because I'm seeing the delta not be so good. The Mag 7 is continuing to climb. I saw a little bit of a bounce off of VWAP. Hang on. What am I trading today? What am I trading? Okay. I'm watching this VWAP level right here. So if you took the VWAP bounce, you're long around 45. It's already at 80. You're probably done for the day in all reality. If you just arbitrarily said, dude, I am buying at VWAP. We're coming from the north. I'm going to put a sitting buy order there. You're in at 45. You had to take about 12 points of heat. And now you're already up 40 points. You're up $800. If it pushes 95, 700, you could probably call it a day and like move on with your life. That's a solid trade. Obviously, I didn't take it just because I see a little bit too much of a mismatch. It's a little bit too early, but if you took it, I understand the trade. I think it's a little degen, but hey, it paid off for you. Your risk really wasn't that bad in reality. Maybe you didn't want to do it on the first dip. Maybe you caught it on the rebound. Maybe you caught it on this rebound, and that's even better because your risk was well defined then. So did any of you take the VWAP trade? For those of you who don't know what the VWAP trade is, VWAP is volume weighted average price. So basically you look at all the prices that people traded at and the amount of volume that they traded there, you average that all together and you get the volume weighted average price. And it's not exactly this, but it's kind of just thought that's like where the average trader is in on the day. It doesn't really tell you if they're bullish or bearish. It just gives you an idea of where the average trader is positioned on the day. So it's thought to be bullish above, bearish below. I've seen some conflicting data in terms of like, should you only be taking bullish trades above or bearish below? There's still very good bullish opportunities below. There's still very good bearish opportunities above. So I don't want anyone to take my commentary to think you can only trade long up here and you can only trade short down here. It's just, it gives you an idea of influences. And if anything, it commonly acts as support and resistance. We sold off to it, we bounced. If we were below it and we traded up into it, commonly acts as resistance. So it's more of just a key level to pay attention to, similar to the point of control. So VWAP, I think my big old head's blocking it. Hang on, let me switch over here. So VWAP is this white horizontal line in the bottom right of your screen. The yellow line is the point of control. So this is the volume weighted average price. This is just literally straight up volume. Like at what price point is most volume been traded that day? So that sounds similar, but there is like a mathematical nuance to that. This is literally just saying exactly at what price has most volume traded. This is a averaging out of looking at all prices, all trades, multiplied by volume. What is the average there? So I kind of think of it as this zone, the point of control to VWAP, to be a little bit more of a choppy zone. And I tend to think of it as like bulls are in control above, bears are in control below. So I do like to watch not only VWAP and the point of control, but the zone of that, which right now VWAP is basically 650 and the point of control is basically 690. So we have about a 40-point differential roughly, which I do need to update one thing here. We have not broken this. The white box on your screen right now on NQ for my SIMDA funded traders, this is the extended hours extremes. It is the high, it is the low. The reason I marked this out is because about 88% of the time, depending on how far back in the data you look, about 88% of the time, either the high or the low is taken out in the regular trading session. So that sounds at first super, super useful, and I think it's useful, but the crux of the problem there is which one is going to be taken out. So you still have to somewhat identify the trend. I think that is actually very, very important. But in terms of if you got on the right side of the trend and you might need a better like target level, that is something strong to consider, especially if we haven't taken out the extended hours trading. Like I said, on any given trading day in regular trading hours, the last time I checked it, it was about 88% of the time, at least one of the extremes of the overnight trading, at least one of them is taken out. So just something to consider, especially if you need help picking a target. Doesn't really help you with which one's going to get taken out, but if you're already comfortable with your entry and your trend following or something like that, pretty useful tool. Pretty useful tool. All right, what do we have over here? Okay, so the SPY, it does look like it's going for the downside gap fill. This is exactly why I didn't chase it to the upside. Sometimes it does just go and the gap remains. That is totally possible. I just didn't feel personally like taking that risk today. I am looking for the market to get somewhere into this zone between 900 and 910. The Mag 7 is showing strength. It pop. I know price is taking a bit of a hit right now, but with respect to the options flow, people are clearly buying calls. The calls are the orange and the green one, while puts are the blues, the dark blue and the light blue. No one is touching puts on the Mag 7 today. They're all buying calls. And then the S&P 500 is selling off. I have a feeling people are buying 0 DTE puts for the downside gap fill. We're currently trading at 918. We're not that far away, 8 points away, and starting at 941 right here, 941, where my cursor is. That's exactly when people started to buy 0 DTE puts, this light blue line. So I think this is a very basic intraday scalp trade. They waited for the double top, the rejection, 941 to 942. They started to get puts. By the fact that more people started to buy puts, it added more negative delta to the system. When more negative deltas in the system, market makers are forced to hedge their books by shorting the underlying. In this case, they were either shorting SPX, ES, or SPY. And guess what happens when market makers do that? It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy and it drives it down. So if I had puts right now, I understand the play. It's not really my favorite thing to do. But if you're doing that, I would say either you're taking, I would take all of my profits at 910, or I would scale out 3/4 with the other 1/4 going for 900 or like 902 or something like that. If I played that. Now, please, I'm not telling you that's the perfect way to play it. I am not clairvoyant. I can't tell you what the market's going to do. But if I took this short position, I would be locking in most of my profits there, if not all. And if I wanted a runner, I'd be looking just above 900. That's how I would personally play it, just because I'm seeing too much strength in the NASDAQ. It feels like at any moment in time, price could snap right back. So I don't want to get involved in that. If you're like, no, man, I really think this is going to go down. Well, you could be fair with that by just setting your stop to break even. If you took this short at 941, 942, this double top short, eyeing up this downside get fill, at this point, set your stop to break even and just make it a freebie play. Like, you don't have to keep risking something. And if anything, literally, this is what I'd be doing. I'd either be locking it all in or about 3/4 of my position right there. That's a good chunk of change. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes. You already got paid what, your full day salary, your full week salary for 5 minutes worth of work. Done. Easy peasy. Easy peasy. I would be out of 3/4 or maybe all. If I really was confident of the S&P 500 getting messed up, I would maybe, but probably not, I would maybe do the other 1/4 of my position down to, let's just call it like 902. That's how I would personally play it. To clarify, I'm not playing it just because I don't want to do a counter trend trade. 5 minute was bullish, 10 minute is bullish, 30 minute is bullish, 4 hour is bullish. Yes, granted, NASDAQ is taking a hit right now, but it's messy data right now, and there's a non-zero chance that people bounce it right off of that. But at this point, in my final runner position, that final 1/4, the stop would be at break even. And as soon as it hits 902, I would either be limiting out or I'd be marketing out, and I'd be done for the day. That's how I would personally play it. That's how I would personally play it. What do we have going on here? All right, a little bit of that hit. Yep, Delta's still getting hit. Call selling, put buying. Mag 7 is still showing strength. NASDAQ is choppy, leaning slightly to the downside. Folks, remember, we are doing a Payday Friday. So on Twitter, we are giving away 15 prop accounts, $250 of cold hard cash. 5 of them will be given away on Twitter. 10 of them will be given away in the new revamped Goonie Trading Discord. Your entire first month is free. I don't want anyone to feel like they got. Use that code Davos from yesterday, DAVOS. I did extend it, DAVOS. That will give you an entire month for free. What's the point of the entire month? It's to give me a month the opportunity to prove to you why you should be in there. You're going to get daily, early morning, daily commentary of what I'm looking for in the day. You're going to get all my swing trades. It's not a signal service. I'm going to be very clear. If you're just copying it, there's a very good chance you're going to blow out because every person has different risk tolerance. We look for different things in the market. The point is to drive the conversation of why did I do that trade? What am I seeing? So anyway, I post my swing trades, my 0 DT trades on the stream. You guys see all my futures trades. There's a live news feed of all the breaking news. Obviously, there's voice chats, there's written chats. We do giveaways. I'm trying to think about what else is in there. We're going to have some bots hooked up. Actually, we're going to have a lot of bots hooked up. So if that sounds good to you, that sounds good to you. If it doesn't sound good to you, hey, I understand. All right. SPY is taking that hit. Like I said, boom. I'm locking in that final 1/4 of my position. That's exactly how I would have handled it. I would, at this point, we're touching 900. I would not be holding a position anymore. I would not be betting on this breakdown. It's just too important of a level, not only from a psychology standpoint at 6,900, but also from a gamma level right here. It's a hedge wall, 6,900, positive gamma. I just wouldn't. Of course, it could keep going. I'm not here definitively saying it has to bounce, but in terms of the odds of a bounce, if I'm short into this, I don't want to be taking on the low odds situation of it's going to continue. Yes, it could continue. I'm not saying it's zero, but I would have gotten 3/4 of my profits there, 1/4 of my profits right here, and I'd literally be done on the day. Really going to do a red green before 10 a.m.? I don't think that far. It would have to drop another 27 points to do the red green test, or excuse me, in this case, a green to red test. And no. And actually, you bring up a good point of another reason of why I'd be locking in my full position right here is because in 9 minutes, we have another announcement. Morning, bro. I'm listening while I'll do maintenance on the tractor. Shout out, Chaos. Swept both the London session high and Asia low on NQ. I'm not saying using all those sessions extremes is like completely worthless, but it's not all it's cracked up to be. I fully understand the concept of paying to the entire high and low, but to split it up like that, I haven't seen compelling statistics to show the real differential between those sessions. I know a lot of people talk about it, but what's funny is a lot of people talk about it without the odds. Like, I just group them all together. I care about regular trading extremes and I care about overnight extremes. To stratify it that way of saying, okay, here's like the Asia session, here's the London session. I just haven't seen compelling statistics at all. If you take this long trade, I do not hate it at all. You're long at 904, you're risking 99, you're risking 5 points. As soon as it takes out 13, 14, 15, somewhere up here, you move your stop to break even. If you took this bounce play, I do not dislike that whatsoever. You have well-defined minimal risk. You're long at 904, you're risking 99. It's a 5-point risk. When it goes to 912, 913, honestly 914, somewhere between 912 and 914, you move that stop to break even. It's a freebie trade and you don't care about it anymore. Like, just literally all of your risk is off the table. I do not think that is a bad trade whatsoever. To the point that it's a little chasey right now. I wish I got in a little bit earlier. At 600. I wish I got in a little bit earlier, but maybe I shouldn't because we have 8 minutes till the PCE report. I still could take the trade. I'm looking at these sellers at 30. VWAP is up here at 40. I'm looking at the 1 minute over here. This is really what I'm looking at. So the 50% retracement from today's regular trading hours extremes is 43, while VWAP is at 40. So that becomes an interesting level for sure. That definitely becomes an interesting level. Oh, do I want it? Announcement at 10 a.m. Yeah, we get the PCE numbers. Remember, there's a lot more surprises in CPI than there is in PCE just because CPI for the same month comes out first. And if there's surprises, then obviously the PCE information is just very quickly recalculated. So there's a lot less surprises in the PCE. All right, hang on 1 second. Oh, brother. Oh, brother, oh, brother, oh, brother. I'm watching 43. I'm watching 43, team. Here, we can look at the degenerate 100 tick. I'm keeping my risk really tight. I'd prefer to be out of this play by the PCE announcement, but we'll see. I'm watching 40 right here. That's the VWAP retest. That's the VWAP retest. We'll see. Maybe it happens. Maybe it doesn't. All I could tell you is my risk is very much in control, and I would love to be out of this before the 10 a.m. announcement, but we'll see. So I'm using public. I deposited funds, but only gave me a chunk of it. Am I supposed to wait until it settles and I can get the rest? Yeah, it's right on the website of how long it takes the money to settle. It should be right there in an email or an update, but I remember when that happened to me. I found it somewhere and it told me, it actually gave me the date and time that my funds would be available. Oh, all right. My stop on my small accounts just got hit. That's a bummer. Do I want to cut the main position? How do I want to do this? Do I want to risk the 10 a.m.? Let me check this. Okay, we got smacked right there. Is it going to be a double bottom off of this? Hang on, let me just double check some stuff. The old, come on, get rid of that. Get rid of this, get rid of this, get rid of this. What am I looking at? I need the 1 minute up. Watching this as closely as I can. It is 9:56. Are we going to see the old 10 a.m. reversal? Are we going to see the old 10 a.m. reversal? What's the flow looking like? Popped, pulled back, lower high, getting hit a little bit on the Mag 7. The S&P 500 did get hit, popped. I was excited by this, but now it's turning into a little bit of an exit opportunity as we're retesting 6,900 as we're 3 minutes out from this PCE report. So at this point, I'm probably forced to just wait and see what these PCE numbers are, which is fine because I cut the position on the small accounts. On the big account, I'm only in one contract. I was being very cognizant of the sizing of it just because I knew this was like a non-zero chance, so it's not like I went degenerately into it beforehand. So basically trying to buy it off this bounce at 6,900 and hoping that this PCE report is solid. Hoping. But we're about to find out. CNBC's on a break. I'm bringing this up because I think our boy Rick Santilli is going to be chit-chatting today. He should be the one announcing the numbers. If you guys are curious, you can see right here, the expectation is 2.8% for core and year over year and 0.2 for month over month. So these are coming out in like 2 minutes. So this is what we're listing for the personal consumption expenditure. Most likely they're going to be spot on. If you look at the CPI compared to the PCE, the PCE is generally the one that is like spot on, not too many surprises. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but just not as many surprises. This is a little bit of a surprise here though. Oh, I do need to manage my Tesla position today. Tesla. Let's see if I could actually manage that one. All right. Still in it, but looking to do something. Looks like we got a lower high. I am by no means a fan of this structure. Obviously, I think this goes without saying. I'm looking for the structural change. I think that makes a lot of sense, especially if you've been watching the show. We just have lower highs and lower lows right now. By definition, that is bearish, at least on this time frame. You can see different trends on different time frames. On the 1 minute time frame, this is bearish. We have lower highs and lower lows. That by definition has to be bearish. But I'm wondering if everything's about to change as we get this report coming out in a second. I'm wondering. We're popping up a little bit into it. All right. We're about 15 seconds away. I do have the volume on. Our boy Rick Santilli should be giving us the numbers. Let's see. Are we going to hold this level? We're right at support. Is the report going to be good enough to hold? First reaction to the downside.
Good Thursday morning. Welcome to Squawk on the Street. I'm Sarah.
Definitely first reaction to the downside. Not extreme, but to the downside nonetheless. Why is the volume so low? And the dips being bought? First move, the wrong move? First, we had a dip, and then we dip again. So we dipped, we popped, we dipped, we popped, we dipped again. The volume. Come on, where's...
Tensions around Greenland signals an all clear for the market.
First, so let's get some economic data.
There we go. Here's our boy
Santelli
Rick.
has that for us. Rick.
Yes, David. These are our November reads on personal income spending and all the PCE inflation metrics that are among the Fed's favorite inflation gauges. The issue is October comes out in a bit, and the comps and revisions, I won't be able to give you an accurate gauge in that regard. So up 0.3, a little light to expectations, which was expected up 0.4. And if you look at the spending side, comes in exactly as expected, up 0.5%, which is a solid number. And if you look at an inflation-adjusted image of spending, it comes in as expected as well, up 0.3%. Now
SPY
let's go
going
to the
flat.
PCE.
Mag 7 taking a bit of a hit.
PCE price index month over month up 0.2%, exactly as expected. And if you look at a year-over-year picture, comes in at 2.8, also exactly as expected.
PCE was
now,
exactly at
if we shift
expectations.
To the core perspective on the personal consumption expenditure, month over month, it's up 0.2, and on a year-over-year, it's up 2.8. All of these numbers are exactly as expected, except for the 0.1 light on the income side. October will be coming out shortly with any revisions, but suffice it to say, interest rates are on the upswing today. We are looking at a retest of that kind of 424, 425 level.
I see buyers at 41 and 36
huge
on
resistance
NQ.
above the market. It might take a bit of time to test in a 10-year, right around 4.37%. Sarah, back to you in Davos.
Back
Thank
to you in
Rick
Davos.
Santelli on the data. Guys, today in Davos, the topic was foreign policy. President Trump here and giving another speech in front of the participants here, a historic speech where he formed his board of peace with 14 other countries there for the official signing.
Someone's running it down right there.
United Nations type organization that's going to first focus
that was
around peace
100,
in
200.
Gaza. Leaders were there from Argentina, President Milei, from Qatar, from Saudi Arabia, but notably absent and have not accepted yet leaders from most of the European countries, from China, from Russia, and other major powers. You know, during the speech, and it wasn't
buyers
just about
actually
Greenland,
stepping
it was
in, or are
barely
they going to
mentioned
crack
today.
this?
During the speech, President Trump did talk a lot about the foreign policy wins and also some of the deals in the works, including making news on Iran, where he says leaders there want to talk and will talk. He talked to, of course, our colleague Joe Kernan about Iran, about the tariffs that are on, those secondary tariffs, and where things stand. Listen.
This is from last night. Tesla's catching a bid.
China responded to
sanctions.
25% for anyone who does business
Correct.
with Iran, and that
sanctions.
will go forward.
Yeah, that's going forward.
That will go forward. There are assets moving into the Gulf, obviously carriers and other things. So a lot of people are wondering whether that's a prelude to further action.
Well, we hope there's not going to be further action.
Steve Witkoff, his special envoy, did talk to me about the potential for a deal.
Mag
in
7
Iran,
catching
where
a little bit of a
it could
bid.
involve
Let's see if it
nuclear,
leads to
could
anything.
involve
We might be
missiles, and
getting
that
the
they have
old
to get
10
in
a.m.
line.
reversal.
Again, the
It's
president
10:03.
and Witkoff threatening Iran that
SPX
if they
catching a
didn't do
little
it,
bit of a bid.
It would be trouble for them.
Maybe
the
it becomes
also
something,
talked about
maybe not.
Russia-Ukraine war and sounded a note of optimism, saying the war could end, quote, pretty soon. And I talked to Witkoff about this because he's going today from here to Moscow for negotiations.
Our 20-point plan.
And
potential slight
and
overshoot
we're
of
massaging
900.
it and
The party
harmonizing
might
it.
get on if we can
And
take out
I think we're down to
903.44.
land deals now.
The
That's
high
been
from
the
the
800
PCE
pound
report.
elephant in the room.
Yep.
And I think we have some very, very good ideas around that, and hopefully we'll be able to make some progress there.
And President Putin, you think we'll get there?
I do.
Why? What
I
gives
do.
you that confidence?
Well, look, we have to go meet him on Thursday. But it's the Russians who are asking for that meeting.
I wonder if we're
I
getting
think
the
that's
10
a
a.m.
significant,
bottom.
Statement on their part. And I think everybody...
I'm not
just
seeing
sense that
much
everybody
follow
wants a
through yet.
piece there,
We're seeing
that it's
some
time.
signs right here. I'm seeing the Mag
So
7.
really updates on all the
SPY's
conflicts
flat,
and
though. I
potential
wanna see
deals that
this
the Trump
curl up.
administration is working on, guys. As you know, he was joined here by a very large delegation, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Jared Kushner, his son-in-law, who's also negotiating some of these peace deals, a number of cabinet secretaries, including the Treasury Secretary, the Commerce Secretary, who we've all heard from on CNBC in recent days, the Energy Secretary as well. Dr. Oz was here talking about healthcare policy.
Patience.
And overall, besides just all the attention and buzz that the president created and a huge security nightmare getting around here, I have to say, some of the reaction and the talks are behind the scenes, especially from the Europeans, is on, the appeal of U.S. assets. And it's unclear ultimately whether this is just chatter or whether we'll actually see some
If
action.
it does hit 93,
people are paying attention to gold.
probably
They're paying
decent
attention
odds
to
of
treasuries,
sub 80 here.
which have sold off recently along with stocks, and wondering about the appeal of U.S. assets now that we have this
But
sort of more
it is slowing down.
confrontational
We've stalled
and,
out just
according to
below
some
900.
Europeans,
I'm
more
kind of
insulting
curious of which.
kind of
I
foreign
have no idea
policy,
which way it's going to break,
with
and no one
President
can
Trump
tell
here
you
in
which way
Davos
it's going to
this
break.
Of course, the question always becomes, okay, where are you
Coming
going to go?
up. This
If you're
guy's a
gonna
pretty
pull some
sharp
assets
guy.
and start
Are they
selling
bringing him on
treasuries, where are you
soon?
going to put the money, Sarah?
Yeah, I think there's a reason that gold and
Little
silver
bit of a
prices
crack
go up
there.
every single day. It's more about diversification than where you're going to go. And this is always the question, I ask when people say, okay, the dollar is losing the reserve currency. It's not necessarily that it's losing the reserve currency. It's that other
Little
central
fake
banks,
out.
and we've seen this
That
in the data,
might be the fake
are
dagger.
diversifying
They
more
sweep it low
into
really
hard
quick,
assets
and then the buyers step in.
like
Let's see.
gold and into
See
broader
right here,
baskets
the buy
of
side
currencies, so
at
that all their
36
eggs
stepped
aren't in
in.
the treasury basket.
Boom,
I think
boom, boom,
that's
gets
the
filled,
ultimate
pops.
concern at a time where,
Let's
David,
see.
I don't have to tell you.
Gets
we have to
exciting if
borrow
it
a
takes
lot.
out 75.
We
That
need
might
people
be
to
the
help fund our
sweep
debt.
low that kind of
And
fucks
so that's-
people over.
That's potentially
But
the thing. And now,
we're not out
don't
of
get
the
me wrong,
woods
I don't
yet.
want to overplay it. We still have fairly
Still
low
intraday leaning
interest rates,
bearish.
and it's something the
I would
president is
rather it
clearly
lean
focused on.
bullish
It comes up
to
in every
mimic
single
the
speech and
larger
conversation
time
we've had
frames.
here in Davos. But I think that is ultimately one of the questions, not just is the Fed going to lower interest rates.
But I guess what goes
Interesting.
up must
On the
come
list
down.
of country ETFs for the year so far, the U.S. is close to the bottom of the major country ETFs. On the broader markets, let's bring in Mohamed El-Arian today.
All right, here we
Allianz's
go.
Chief Economic
This guy's a pretty
Advisor.
shrewd
Mohamed,
guy.
what a week. It's good to have you.
A lot of cheering.
So we came into the week with the president threatening tariffs on the EU, who thought they already had a deal set, and now backing off. Is policy risk heightened from here on out?
I think it is, but there's two very opposing views right now. And we got to wait and see. One is the market that believes that you can simply reset every time. And therefore, the right response is
5 minute, 10 minute bearish, 30 minute bullish, 4 hour testing, 5 minute, 10 minute bearish, 30 minute is testing.
Was highlighted by Prime Minister
I would love to
Barnier
take
of
out
Canada,
85. That would be a
which is,
strong signal.
This is not a reset moment. This is a very bumpy journey to a completely new world. And the market right now has put that aside.
Like I said,
for good
taking out
reasons.
903
US
is an
growth remains
interesting
strong.
potential
US companies are
reversal.
really impressive,
I would want to
but
see
that
strong
debate is
flow,
going to
though.
continue all year, Carl.
Right. What do you think the Carney speech? It's hard to imagine you writing that and delivering that speech only to reverse it later on. What do you think that speech meant?
I think it meant that Canada now wants to diversify away from the U.S. It explains why they signed a strategic agreement with China last week. And, these two things are really surprising for an economy that is so closely connected to the U.S. The other debate, which was an important one, and Sarah spoke to it, was the one Dutch.
We're picking up a little bit since 10:02, but price isn't following yet. Price is very much just flat.
Pension fund in a small country. Others said, you know what, this is a warning sign that we have to take seriously. So we are in this period of volatility, dispersion and fragmentation. And as long as U.S. growth remains strong, and as long as U.S. companies continue to climb this impressive productivity curve, then we have an engine. But that engine is getting weaker. We should not simply rely on what worked last year.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Mag
Mohammed,
7,
when you think
it's
about the
still picking
long-term
up since
consequences
10:02.
then
Price isn't
of
following
our
yet,
current policies, you know,
but
I'm curious
puts are
what the
being
world
sold.
looks like from your perspective
All
a
right.
number of years.
This is getting a little boring. But I'm watching. The Nasdaq is not reacting, but what's catching my eye right here is the Mag 7 popped. We sold off from 946 to 1002, 1003. Since then, it's picking up. I'm wondering if price is going to follow suit. This is what I'm watching. However, there is a chance that maybe these option trades go south and then price gets cracked again. So as I'm watching that, I'm also seeing, okay, the S&P 500, it's not bullish by any means, but it looks like it stopped selling, at least at, once again, 1002. Oh, do I want to take a stab at this? It just popped a little bit in price right there. We just saw finally a sign of life, but is it a bit of a fake out? Is it a bit of a fake out? That is the question. Let's get some tunes going somewhere. Let's get some tunes going somewhere. Stock market anthems to survive the dip. That seems appropriate for right now. All right. Let's see. Let's go back to this. They try to pop it. It got smacked pretty quickly. Looks like there's an issue up here at 80. Looks like a bit of an issue up here at 580 on NQ, which is basically aligning with 900. See how SPX got smacked right there? It tagged 900. So support, got cracked, went a little, went back up. 900's the pivot point. So if we can get above and hold above, I think you could be a bit more confidently bullish on an intraday basis. And the fact that we're getting rejected right now, if you happen to be a bear, you're looking for that to hold. And then obviously the opposite signal would be if we get above and hold, you might be like, uh-oh, things are turning a little bit south. But we just saw the first sign of life right there at 1010, at least in price. We saw life starting at 1002 in options. But just the follow through is not there right now. So you still have to be patient. Still have to be patient. What time is it? 10:12. We've seen enough reversals right past the 10 a.m. hour that I'm not discounting that today. It is interesting to me, very interesting to me, that the report comes out at 10 and then the options switch at 10:03. The options switch right at 10:03. Are we putting in a slightly higher low here? A slightly higher low. Look at this consolidation zone. You could watch this sub range. All right, we have a range within a range. That might be it. What color should I make it? Blue, purple? I don't know. You guys can see it. But right here, I'm looking at the 9:59 and the 10 a.m. bar. I'm putting those two bars together where we push. I'm wondering, can it get above? That happens to be 91. 600 is a key psychological level. Today's overnight range, the 50% retracement was 612. So this whole zone gets interesting. And then it's also the 1 minute EMA cloud recovery.
Order filled. Order submitted. Order submitted.
I'm just setting up my risk. I'm seeing if this little spike right here is going to lead to anything of note. Oh, where are we? Dude, every little spike is just getting smacked.
Order filled.
All right, I had to use my stop there. I'm not going to take on undue risk for no reason. That's one of the beautiful things about trading futures is you can trade as much as you want. But a lot of fake outs today. Really? Is it going to do another signal again?
Order submitted.
We're trying again. Wow, I got wicked out by like 2 points on that. I re-entered. We're taking some stabs at it. Just because if this is the low of the day, I'm carrying minimal risk and maybe I could ride it all the way back to the intraday high. So has not worked thus far, but I do like the risk reward of it. Let's see. All right, are we improving? Yes, the Mag 7 is still improving. This is what we started to see at 10:03. Price was a little slow to react. The S&P 500 is having a tough time. I would feel far more comfortable about being intraday bullish on this recapture of 904. Come on.
The only green left is envy emotion. Envy emotion. Envy emotion.
Fuck. Is this going to be the next one that's getting clocked? We had a double top here at 91. Damn, dude. All these pops are just getting sold. Do I have to cut it again to be safe? I don't want to break the MAE. I just cut those ones because of the MAE on Apex. That's just a brutal fake out. Look at, we finally got higher highs just for them to dump it. Wow, dude, they just dumped it. They're going to come for me on this one, too. It was worth the risk. It just did not happen this time around. That's incredibly unfortunate. We got going, and then boom, 10-17. I just got caught up in that fucking junk. Wow, what a brutal one. Oh, I still really do think it gets going today, and I think I'm going to be able to get it. I just want to do it, obviously, with minimal risk. It's one thing to have confidence in a position, like a direction. It's completely different, though. Can you take advantage of that with minimal risk? And that is the name of the game. Come on. Please be a fake out. Little shiver in the bears when they quiver, margin thinner than a sliver in the winter blizzard. Listen, shimmer in the spread when I deliver. I'm the one that make a decimal glitter, millisecond killer with a limit or the thriller. Come on, take out 904. How's the flow looking? Mag 7's still going. That's giving me the confidence to be bullish. I'm seeing even the SPY pick up. Come on. Still having a weird issue. Point of controls there. VWAP is... Where the fuck is VWAP? Watch the bid ass rocket while I pocket profit. I'm moving in a microsecond, recognize a pattern, checking every candle I dissected, redirected, re-injected, earning season, intercept the sentiment, agenda detected, see the dead. I feel like I'm trying to catch a falling knife and it's just not.
Order submitted.
All right, updating my risk just in case I'm really misreading this one today. Just in case I'm really misreading this one today.
Order submitted.
All right, third stab at it. All right, maybe I finally caught it. Maybe. I mean, the whole time I've just been looking at this. It's just I wanted to do. I got knocked out because I didn't want to take on risk in case I was gone. But I told you the breakout level was there, was 904. We're slowly but surely improving. Liquidity avalanche, balance sheet dance, stance in the stance of the stance that advance, glance at the chance in the glance, so enhance romance with finance. I'm entranced and expansive. I be the ticker whisperer, flicker, fix and listener, printer, clicker, minister of gangster, liverer, fix indicator, flicker, make my pulse reconsider. Yet I'm still that bull that pull the trigger quicker. Digital alchemist, calculus strategist, analyst catalyst, baddest of data hits, packing the acronyms back to back like analysts, stacking the racks of facts in the track immaculate. Order flow pharaoh, spread type barrel, sharper reach your hero, zero fear marrow, every algo echo in a narrow bar arrow, trading at a tempo like a carbon fiber sparrow. All right, we are getting a breakout of this mini range. I'm paying attention to 600 to 630. That's this. Okay, so basically we sold off, we went range bound, sideways, sideways, sideways. We're knocking on the door of a breakout, but it is the 1 minute 50 EMA. People might be reacting to that. It's also $600. So, or excuse me, 25,600, a psychological level. So I'm looking for 600 to 630. This is like the next region that I wanted above. So we're ideally getting the bullish breakout of region 1. I need the bullish breakout of region 2 to maybe have that runner. So I'm liking that it's knocking on 1, but look at that. It's already getting smacked. On the small accounts, I'm moving the stop to break even so I don't go further in the hole. But I'm watching this right here. A break and a hold above 630. We are looking good. Come on. We're getting that VWAP test. Think we might have caught one. All right, on the big accounts right here, I'm trading 3 groupings of accounts separately. Some of them are scalp trades, $15, $15, $15, because I just need a trade day. There's no point in getting more profit. So those are already done, $15 locked in. Then above my head right here, you're seeing the quote unquote big accounts where I can give those a little bit more room, a little bit more leeway. They have a bit more room to breathe. You can see I took a long here at 71 and I took a long here at 620. What I'm going to do is on the second ad, I'm making that a freebie play. As in the second one I added, I'm trading them as two independent, separate positions. Granted, it's giving me the average value at 95, but don't worry about that. Imagine just one here, trade it independently. This second one stops at break even. As in, the second one is not gonna, well, literally just came for it. So now I care about this position up here. That just got dumped on pretty hard. This is why I have the stops at break even, because shit like this happens. Fuck. Wow. The small accounts got out at break even. Protection. The game of protection. Why did this happen? I suppose people reacting to the 1 minute right there. See how the 1 minute cloud got right up, right into the second zone, smashed. Because of the non-zero chance of that, that's why I was aggressive with the stop management. What a pain in the ass this has become today. And right back. So maybe someone had to dump something. Something got hit in the Mag 7. Was it Apple? A little. Avago? No. Coin. Microsoft just took a hit. Nvidia took a little bit of a hit. Tesla took a little bit of a hit. But all these things were climbing up. Jesus, they're making this one difficult today. But to clarify, that one was knocked out at break even. I took a shot at it. I thought we were going. Nope, it clearly did not get going. So I took the break even. But still, this is a fresh high. This high that we just pumped to at 1023, it did take out the previous high. So we might still be switching trend. If this is a higher low, it might be a worthwhile shot. Might be. It's a game of minimal risk.
Order submitted. Order canceled. Order submitted.
Hang on, just updating my risk. Just updating my risk.
Order filled. Order submitted. Order submitted.
All those orders are me just putting in my risk. Just putting in risk just in case this is not the time. And who knows, maybe it doesn't go at all. Maybe I'm just like completely wrong on this, but you can be completely wrong. And if your risk is in control, your risk is in control. Of course, I would love to be right on every single trade, but that's just not going to be like possible. Not going to be possible. Come on. Come on. We're scaling out of one of these at 600. We're now kind of devolving into a little bit of a scalp technique. So on the smaller accounts, once again, a quick little scalp out and then ideally a runner. The runner might be getting knocked out at break even, or maybe this is the time it actually runs. I have no clue, but trying to scalp out at this key level at 600. Honestly, 621 might be a bit better. Do I want to do it? How's the flow looking? I need to make some game time decisions here, folks. Remember, I care a lot more about the risk than I do the profit in terms of those lines that I need to react to. All right, I see that VWAP, the volume weighted average price, is right here around 2021. It's this white line, but we are holding the point in control at 560, which has been a lot of movement today. So I'm taking on the risk of like, I'm hoping we break 600, which is where we're at right now, and I move my target up to 19 on this one. So I'm taking on the risk that we actually break out of this immediate range, and we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out. We're updating risk on the big accounts as well. On the big accounts, on the second ad, the stops at break even, the first one up here at 20 is still live. So I'm long too, but the second one is a free trade. I can't stress that enough. I'm trading them as two independent positions. That second one that I added to improve my average, that one's at break even. The other one is long up here. You can see where I went long right here at 540, 954 right here when I was silly in a very silly manner front running it. That one's still underwater. That's a long at 620. So that one's down by about 23 points. The other one has no risk. The stop's at break even. I added it here at 1026. It's only going to help me. It's only going to help me. If the market reverses like we did just before here, it's going to be a break even trade. I'm trading them as independent positions, as in I'm worrying about their risk separately. And that's exactly why I went stop to break even on the second one. As I say that, as I say that, fuckers, dude, this is whippy. Wait, what just got filled? Something got filled that I don't know why it got filled. I think I just lost the Lucid Black account. I'm not 100% sure. I guess I got a little too greedy. Maybe I should have taken it off at 600. Once again, I'm worrying about various tranches of accounts. But on this one, I think I just lost this one account right here. Yeah, the Lucid Black, fuck. But I still have this other Lucid going. I should have been trading them independently. And rookie mistake, that's on me. That's long too. Do I want to do... I'll move the stop up on one of these to 71. Every time I look over and think, cool, finally caught it, it's about to go, I then look back seconds later and it's destroying me. Fuck. Just like this right now. Oh, 600's the battle. Obviously, in hindsight, I wish I scaled out of one of these at 600, but maybe I'll get rewarded and we'll finally break it and just really rip. But we're just running into serious amounts of resistance here. Serious amounts of resistance. I think my break even on the accounts, on the big accounts, is around 95-ish, maybe 93 or something. Pretty much trading at break even right here. I think it's somewhere between 93 and 95. All right. People are saying Elon. All right, here's a look at your flow, which this is why I'm look at that pop, man. Price isn't reacting as much as I thought it would, but it's still holding. And the S&P 500, it's right at that high from yesterday, 910. It got my breakout at 904. I guess technically I'm waiting for the 911 break, but this zone, it's choppy. It didn't give us that one little bar reversal, but it was kind of a grind. I still deeply believe this is a setup back to the intraday high. Deeply, deeply believe it. Elon is speaking.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. It's great to see everybody here. It's been an amazing week here in Davos.
Let's see what Elon has to say.
Saw that we are having conversations here. Hopefully everybody agrees. There are some conversations that we may disagree. There's many conversations that we may have agreed, but through those conversations, and I think today's result with a peace agreement earlier today, the World Economic Forum is here to have those conversations, to have understandings, and also resolution. So it's an important component of who we and what we are, and I'm thrilled to have Elon Musk here. He came all the way from California to be here to see all of you. So thank you, Elon.
You're most welcome.
Locking in one, others now to break even, freebie trade.
The Peace Summit, and I was like, is that...
That's how we do it, folks. Finally caught it.
You know, a little piece of Greenland, a little piece of Venezuela.
we got one.
All we want is peace.
Okay, I'm going to, as I said, I'm a pretty proud CEO of BlackRock since we went public. The compounding return of BlackRock to our shareholders was 21%. Since Elon took Tesla public, his compounded return is 43%. This is just another advertisement for everybody, especially for Europeans. This is why
Order submitted.
More citizens should be investing with growth, investing with their countries. Imagine
getting out of the first one, like I said, I'm treating them independently.
Elon,
this one is now gone.
Public,
so that one was out for break even. This one was out for break even. I do have one runner from 68.
All the pension funds that invested side by side.
Does that make, when I say that I'm treating them independently, does that make sense? Instead of looking at the average value, which could kind of mess you up, I try to save myself here. It went up, came down, no, out for break even. This one, I was underwater for a while, but I just got out at 9.54, just dumped it for a little bit of a profit. So now I just have this one with, I'm long one with a nice fill at 69. We're up about 1.4K. Like, does that make sense? Please, if you have any questions, because it's a very useful technique. Look at the accounts. I was down. You're probably thinking, wow, Matt's blowing out, whatever. And now I'm up 1.2K from just proper risk management.
Few people, if not anyone,
let's just hope this isn't a rejection.
And the fortitude to confront these issues head on.
Like I said, 6:30 is the big break.
The execution across so many different technologies.
No one should be surprised. I literally have it drawn out right here.
Dialogue here.
Second zone.
Davos. So you're presently building on AI, on robotics, on space, on energy, all at the same time. When you look across those efforts, what do they have in common from an engineering standpoint?
Well, they're all very difficult technology challenges, but the overall goal of my companies is to maximize the future of civilization, like basically maximize the
We're going to be doing the Payday Friday soon after we're done listening to Elon. Sign up for it. You can get into the Goonie Trading Discord for free. Use that code Davos, D-A-V-O-S, pinned to the top of chat. And also you can like, retweet here on Twitter. So free for everyone.
We can extend life and consciousness beyond Earth to the moon, to Mars, eventually to other star systems. And I think we should always view consciousness, life as we know it, as precarious and delicate, because to the best of our knowledge, we don't know of life anywhere else. You know, I'm often asked, are there aliens among us? And I'll say that I am one, but...
Or you're from the future.
They don't believe me.
Okay.
But I think if anyone would know if there are aliens among us, it would be me. We have 9,000 satellites up there, and not once have we had to maneuver around an alien spaceship. So I'm like, I don't know. Bottom line is, I think we need to assume that life and consciousness is extremely rare, and it might only be us. And if that's the case, then we need to do everything possible to ensure that the light of consciousness is not extinguished, because we're effectively, the way I view it is, the image in my mind is of a tiny candle in a vast darkness, a tiny candle of consciousness that could easily go out. And that's why it's important to make life multiplanetary, such that if there is a natural disaster or a man-made disaster on Earth, that consciousness continues. That's the purpose of SpaceX. Tesla is obviously about sustainable technology, and also at this point we've sort of added to our mission sustainable abundance. So with robotics and AI,
I love this higher low. I just want this breakout
abundance
of 30. That
You
sets
say-
up the
people
test
often
between
talk about,
680 and 700. This is the next
solving
zone right here.
global poverty, or essentially, how do we give everyone a very high standard of living? I think the only way to do this is AI and robotics, which doesn't mean that it is without its issues. I mean, we need to be very careful with AI. We need to be very careful with robotics. We don't want to find ourselves in a James Cameron movie, Terminator. he's great movies, love his movies, but we don't want to be in Terminator, obviously. If you have ubiquitous AI that is essentially free or close to it, and ubiquitous robotics,
5 points in the money, no matter what, making $300 on the day. Worst case situation for me is $300, 15 accounts.
Truly,
What's that? 4 or 5K? Not a bad day.
precedent.
Not a
Can
bad
that
day.
expansion be broad?
Yes.
Or is it narrow? And how can that be created? How can it broaden the global economy?
Yeah, I mean, the way to think of it is that if you have a large number of humanoid robots,
We're struggling at
the
VWAP.
economic output is the average productivity per robot times the number of robots.
Right.
And actually, my prediction is in the benign scenario of the future that the robots will actually make so many robots and AI that they will actually saturate all human needs. Meaning you won't be able to even think of something to ask the robot for at a certain point. There will be such an abundance of goods and services because my prediction is that there'll be more robots than people. So,
but how do you then have human purpose in that scenario?
Yeah, I mean, nothing's perfect, but it is a necessary. You can't have both. You can't have work that has to be done and amazing abundance for all. Because if it's work that has to be done, then you and only some people can do it, then you can't have abundance.
Then
for
it's
all.
narrow.
It's narrow,
Yeah.
exactly. So, but if you have billions of humanoid robots, and I think there will be, I think everyone on Earth is going to have one and going to want one, because who wouldn't want a robot to, assuming it's very safe, watch over your kids, take care of your pet. If you have elderly parents, a lot of friends of mine have said they have elderly parents.
Dude, I'm going to be so mean to my robot. It's just going to be such a fucking dick to
It's
it.
expensive, and there just aren't enough people
All
to
right,
take
are we
care of
finally picking
there
up?
aren't enough young people to
Mag
take care of
7
the old
still
people.
holding. Spy is improving.
So if you had a robot that could take care of and protect an elderly parent, I think that would be great. That would be an amazing thing to have. I think we will have those things. So, overall, I'm very optimistic about the future. I think we're headed for a future of amazing abundance, which is very cool. And definitely, we are in the most interesting time in history. I don't think there's a more interesting time in history. So.
But can you and I reverse aging in this new history, or are we going to see it?
I haven't put much time into the aging stuff. I do think it is a very solvable problem. Like you can. I think when we figure out what causes aging, I think we'll find it's incredibly obvious. It's not a subtle thing. The reason I say it's not a subtle thing is because all the cells in your body, with some pretty much age at the same rate. I've never seen someone with an old left arm and a young right arm ever in my life. So why is that? That means that there must be a clock, a synchronizing clock,
right,
that is synchronizing across 35 trillion cells in your body. There is some benefit to death, by the way. It's like there's a reason why we don't actually have a longer lifespan because if people do live forever for a very long time, I think there's some risk of an ossification of society, of things just getting kind of locked in place, it just may become stultifying, just not lack vibrancy. But that said, do I think we'll figure out
updating
ways
my wrist
to extend life and maybe even reverse aging? I think that's highly likely.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
In the future that you talk
break
about,
out the
AI
magnets.
models, autonomous machines, rockets, depends on massive increases in compute, massive increases in energy, expensive energy, manufacturing scale. What are the bottlenecks to get there? And that, once again, with all that expenditures, again, how can we make sure that it's broad and not narrow?
I just think the natural thing is it's going to be very broad because AI companies will seek as many customers as they possibly can, and the cost of AI is already very low, and it's plummeting every year. I mean, the cost of AI is almost meaningfully changing on a month-to-month basis.
There's open models.
Look at that grind to the upside. Are we seeing a bit of a Vanna push? Yep, look at all these puts getting puked. We're seeing a Vanna push with a bit of gamma there from people buying it. Love it. Look, all I'm looking for, grind up to 20, 25, intraday high, and then 40. I want to take out 25 and then 40. Those are my next two targets, 6925, 6940.
The fab, the powering. That to me, what are the
finally caught this on futures.
Yeah, I think the limiting factor for
I did have a victim though, the Lucid Black account, the eval.
Electrical power.
It's just,
but the rest of everything else looking phenomenal.
I mean, we're seeing the rate of AI chip production increase exponentially, but the rate of electricity being brought online is
3%, 4% a year, max.
Yeah. It's clear that we're very soon, maybe even later this year, we'll be producing more chips than we can turn on. Except for China. China's growth in electricity is tremendous.
They're building 100 gigawatts of nuclear as we speak.
Actually, solar is the biggest thing in China. So I believe China's production capacity on solar is 1,500 gigawatts a year, and they're deploying over 1,000 gigawatts a year of solar.
Piper just fired.
Now, for continuous solar load, you divide that by roughly, 4 or 5. Call it that's around 250 gigawatts of steady state power paired with batteries. And that's a very big number. That's half of the average power usage in the U.S.
Right.
So U.S. power usage on average is 500
If you're in the
gigawatts.
Discord, Piper
solar.
just fired. And remember, if you're listening to this right now for today, you can get in for free with code Davos pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video, and you'll have more chances at today's Payday Friday giveaway. 15 prop accounts, 5 from Apex, 5 from FFN, 5 from Lucid. Code Goonie gets you the best discount on all of them, and $250 of cold hard cash.
Or even on Earth, but certainly beyond Earth. The sun
once again, code Davos, DAVOS, will get you into the Discord for free.
Thing to consider
for 1 month.
So the sun is 99.8% of the mass of the solar system. Jupiter is about 0.1%, and everything else is miscellaneous. Now, even if you were to burn Jupiter in a thermonuclear reactor, the amount of energy produced by the sun would still round up to 100%, because Jupiter is only 0.1%. If you teleported 3 more Jupiters into our solar system, and burnt 3 more Jupiters, and everything else in the solar system, the sun's energy would still round up to 100%. So it's really all about the sun, and that's why one of the things we'll be doing with SpaceX within a few years is launching solar-powered AI satellites.
Right.
Because the space is really the source of immense power.
Elon is speaking at Davos right now, the World Economic Forum.
There's so much room in space, and you can scale to enormous. I mean, you can scale to. I think ultimately hundreds of terawatts a year.
You and I have had these conversations before, but why don't you tell the audience what would it take for the United States, and what type of geography would it take to have that solar field to electrify the United States? And then let me ask a question: why aren't we doing it?
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess a rough way to think about it is 100 miles by 100 miles, or call it 160 kilometers by 160 kilometers of solar is enough to power the entire United States. So the 100 mile by 100 mile area is I mean, you could take basically a small corner of Utah,
struggling at that 20
Nevada,
level.
New Mexico. Obviously, you wouldn't want it all in one place, but it is a very small percentage.
I almost got knocked out. Just got knocked out.
US to generate all of the electricity that the U.S. uses.
Locking in. Done on the day. $1,000 locked in on those accounts. On these other accounts, I still have some room to run with it, obviously, but I'm more than happy with $1,000. It's going to piss me off because that means I have one account below 100K.
Why
But
don't you think
hey,
there's
shit
a movement
happens.
towards that here and in the United States?
Well, there is,
as it is in China.
Well, unfortunately, in the U.S., the tariff barriers for solar are extremely high. And that makes the economics of deploying solar so artificially high, because China makes almost all the solar,
What would it take for Europe or the U.S. to build it commercially, if it's that scale?
Yeah, I think. Well, I can tell you what we're going to do. You know, SpaceX and Tesla is we're building up. Large-scale
This is why you have protection, folks. You never know with
SpaceX and
moments
Tesla
like
teams
this.
Both separately are working to build to 100
And I could
gigawatts
always
a year
re-enter. If
of
things
solar power in
improve,
the
I
US.
could always get back in.
Of
But
manufactured solar power.
look at that. Locked in 15K.
And
I am still looking to trade these other accounts.
In about 3 years or something. But these are pretty big numbers. You know, I'd encourage others to do the same. We obviously don't control the U.S. Tariff policy, but for other countries, I would recommend that China makes solar cells that are incredibly low cost, and I think it would be worth doing large scale solar.
So I know you're going to be having a couple of big announcements on robotics and what it can do. I mean, when I went to the factory, you showed me those robots.
Yeah.
How quickly, you talked about the billions of robots, but how quickly can they be deployed in a manufacturing setting? How quickly can they be utilized and be functional and create that abundance that you talked about?
Trying to play the VWAP bounce here. Icarus did fire, and it fired at VWAP, so I figured
humanoid
why
robotics will
not?
advance very
Worthwhile
quickly.
shot. I'm not the biggest fan, though, of the 5-minute and the 10-minute chart.
We do have some.
So I'm trying to, as you can see, be very careful with my wrist.
Tasks in the factory. We accept it probably later this year. By the end of this year, I think they'll be doing more complex tasks.
Just trying to play this bounce off of VWAP.
Deployed in an industrial environment, and probably sometime next year, I'd say that by the end of next year, I think would be selling humanoid robots to the
End
public.
of next year for Tesla?
That's when we are confident that it's very high reliability, very high safety.
So basically, in
and the range of
2 years,
functionality
they
is,
think they're going to be selling the
is
humanoid
also very
robots.
high. You can basically
That's
ask it to do
crazy.
anything you'd like.
You're already seeing that in Tesla cars. The software changes that you're doing. And what is it, every quarter now, a software change that upgrades
Tesla's popping on
the
that,
ability of
taking
the
out the high
robot
from
within the
yesterday.
Yes, the Tesla full self-driving software.
If you're in the
we update it
Discord, my
sometimes
Tesla
once a
position
week.
just locked in.
Recently, some of the insurance
Tesla's
companies have
popping
said
on that statement right
it
there,
is
selling
actually so
humanoid
safe,
robots by the end of next year.
Tesla full self-driving is so safe that they're offering customers half-price insurance if they use Tesla full self-driving in their car.
And that can be monitored by the insurance company? Is that part of the agreement then?
Yeah. I think self-driving cars is essentially a solved problem at this point.
Right.
And Tesla's rolled out a sort of robo-taxi service in a few cities, and
right.
will I think be very, very widespread by the end of this year within the U.S. And then we hope to get supervised full self-driving approval in Europe, hopefully next month.
Really that quickly?
Yeah, and then maybe a similar timing for China.
Order filled.
I want to move to space because historically space is very capital intensive. It's historically been done by governments. Obviously, SpaceX changed the whole model. But we've seen it slow to scale, and now I'm starting to see it ramping up in what you're doing.
A little bit of a pullback. I'm looking for this to be the first higher low of the day
to us
that
about
then pops.
The automation and AI, how it's changing the economics in building and preparing
Putting in my
for us
stop.
in operating in space.
Sure. Well, the key breakthrough the major breakthrough that SpaceX is hoping to achieve this year is full reusability. So
Mag
no one has
7
ever
keeps
achieved full
climbing.
reusability
Hard to
of
bet
rocket,
against
which
that.
is very important for the cost of access to space. We've achieved partial reusability.
SPY
with
is
Falcon 9 by
tilting
landing
ever
the
since
boost stage.
1047.
We've now landed the boost stage over 500 times. But we have to throw away the upper stage. The upper stage sort of burns up on re-entry for Falcon 9. So, and the cost of that
A little
is
bit of downward
equivalent
pressure
to a
now.
small to medium-sized
They might
jet.
be evaluating
So,
600 here.
But with Starship, which is a giant rocket, it's the largest flying machine ever made.
That's the rocket that you're using for the idea of going to Mars, right?
I'm going to get stopped out at
Mars and the
605
moon,
if it hits.
as well as for high volume satellite
Once again,
stuff.
just risk management.
So Starship, hopefully this year we should prove full reusability for Starship, which will be a profound invention because the cost of access to space will drop by a factor of 100 when you achieve
I'm
full
about
reusability.
to get knocked out. I almost got knocked out.
It's the same sort of economic difference that you would expect that, between, say, a reusable aircraft and a non-reusable aircraft. Like if you have to throw your aircraft away after every flight, that would be a very expensive flight. But if you only have to refuel, then it's the cost of the fuel. And so that's really the fundamental breakthrough that gets the cost of access to space.
605 is holding.
we
I might
think,
move it down to
below
90.
the cost
Maybe
of,
600 will protect me because 605 is
freight
acting
on
so strong.
So
Folks, it's getting a little late, and I know Elon's talking, but I just want to remind you, let's get rocking with the Payday Friday. So all you have to do is like, retweet, and follow. 5 of the 15 will be given away on Twitter. The other 10 will be given away in the Goonie Trading Discord. It is free right now for everyone to enter for an entire month with code Davos. We're going to get rocking with that right now. Shout out to Apex, FFN, and Lucid. Lucid is the brand new ones I'm trading with, and thus far those Flex accounts are awesome.
Yeah,
so we're going to get rocking with this like
sunny,
now.
So you don't have a day-night cycle or seasonality or weather, and you get about 30% more power in space because you don't have atmospheric attenuation of the power. The net effect is solar is 5 times more. Any given solar panel will do 5 times more energy in space than on the ground.
Is there any capacity in doing that and then taking that power and bringing it back to Earth? Is there any way of doing that, or you're just taking that power and utilizing it for the needs, like building AI data centers?
All right, this should allow everyone.
I think the case is it's a no-brainer for building AI solar
All
power.
right,
AI
to
data
enter
centers in
on
space.
Twitter, I'm going to give you like 30 more seconds. All you have to do is like, retweet, and follow. 5 of the selected.
It's very cold in space,
and
just 3 degrees Kelvin. So you just have
any
you have solar
tweets
panels
older
facing
than a
the sun,
week,
and then,
any 0. That should be
radiator
good
that's
for all of you.
Pointed away from the sun, so it has no sun incidence, and then it's just cooling.
All right,
it's a very efficient
we're rocking in
system.
5, 4, 3,
Net
2,
effect is that
1.
the lowest cost place to put AI will be space, and that'll be true within 2 years, maybe 3,
All right.
3 at the latest.
Let me screenshot this.
So
I don't-
looking 10 or 20 years out, how would you describe success with AI or space technology?
Congrats to Elon
Where do you
Muskie,
see it?
Travis,
Is that-
William,
are you more
Dakota,
certain what's gonna happen in the next 3
Normus,
years or 5
Mr.
or 10?
Normus. These are some names for
I don't
sure.
know what's going to happen in 10 years, but the rate at which AI
Elon
is progressing,
Muskie, we're listening to him. Travis,
I think we
Old Billy, Dakota, and Normus. So
might have
you guys are in the
AI that
raffle,
is
and you
more
already
than a
obviously
human
got
by the
one
end of
of
this
the
year.
accounts.
And
But
I would
there's
say
still
no
10
later
more
than
up
next
for
year.
grabs in the Discord that we're going to get rocking
and
with.
then probably by 2030 or 2031, call it 5 years
All
from
right,
now,
I just wanted to make sure I saved that
AI
screenshot.
will be smarter than
How's the market looking?
all of humanity collectively.
We only have
I'm looking
a
for
number
the
of
old
minutes left, but
5-minute
I wanna
reversal.
humanize you
I
for
want
a
this to
second.
pop. I want this to pop.
So there's no speculation that
Make a
you're
joke about peace.
Right. I want to. I mean, I would frame this question by: you are the most successful entrepreneur, industrialist in the 21st century, maybe beyond. I want to really get this. What inspired
on.
you? Who's inspired you? What was the foundation of your
Order,
curiosity? And importantly, what was the
Order
was there
submitted.
a
Just
aha
updating
moment,
my
an
wrist.
epiphany at any time in your life and career?
Well,
How are we doing this giveaway, folks?
I mean, as a kid, I read a lot of science fiction, sci-fi, fantasy books.
Yeah, we talked about that.
And comic books, and I always liked technology. I didn't expect to be where I am today.
All right, we're doing it.
This seems incredibly implausible.
Is it / giveaway?
But, yeah, I was inspired by reading about books about the future, about science fiction, and I guess I want to make
Duration.
science fiction not
5
fiction forever. At some point,
minutes.
turn science fiction to science fact.
3 minutes.
And we want to have
10
like Starfleet
winners.
and Star Trek, really, for real, like where we actually have giant spaceships traveling through space, going to other planets, traveling to other star systems.
All right.
going places where we've never gone.
Click the button below to join the giveaway. If you are in the Discord, it's in general chat. You have 3 minutes. 3 minutes. The timer's already started.
Talking about Star Trek.
No, I guess my essential, what I would call the philosophy of curiosity. I'd like to understand the meaning of life. Is the standard model of
All you have to do.
correct?
4 of you have already figured it
Starting
out.
at the beginning
3-minute
of life,
timer's
the beginning of existence,
already going.
and the end of the universe.
Already going.
What questions do we not know to ask that we should ask? And AI will help us with these things. So I'm just trying to understand how
It's
do we
running.
get here,
It's
what's
live.
going on, what's real.
We're doing
Are
it
there
live.
aliens? Maybe there are. And if we've got spaceships that are traveling to other star systems,
We almost had
encounter
a confirmed
aliens,
higher
and we
low,
may
and now the market's
find
taking a
many
bit of a
long-dead
hit.
alien civilizations. But I just want to know what's going on. I'm curious about the universe, and that's my philosophy.
That's my
Do you see yourself
philosophy, and I'm
ever
sticking to
going to
it.
Mars in your lifetime?
Yeah, I mean, I would say like
That's a long commitment.
I've been asked.
Isn't that 3 years each way?
It's 6 months.
6 months? That's all it is?
Yeah, 6 months, but the planets
just
only
6
align
months.
every 2 years.
Okay.
So, yeah, I've been asked a few times, like, do I want to, die on Mars? And I'm like, yes, but just not on impact.
That's a good answer. Anyway, we're out of time.
Order
hopefully
canceled.
All
everybody
right, we're
enjoyed
wrapping
this.
up over there. How's the giveaway going?
I mean, there's so many myths
We're almost
around Elon
going.
Musk.
Lots of
I can
people
tell
already
you
in
he's
it.
a great friend.
It
and I
ends in 1
constantly
minute.
learn so much
Less
from
than a
him.
minute. If you're in the Discord, fast.
And I'm totally inspired by what he has done. I've been inspired who he is, and I'm totally inspired by his vision of the future. And I don't think it's such a bad future. And I agree with his optimism. So, Elon, thank you. Any last words?
Well, I think my last words would be, I would encourage everyone to be optimistic and excited about the future.
Good.
And generally, I think for quality of life, it is actually better to err on the side of being an optimist and wrong rather than a pessimist and right.
Hey, I think that's some viable. All right, Elon is wrapping up there. The big news that actually during that caused Tesla stock to pop a bit. Hang on, let me show you. The little midday pop right there, like this, basically going from 435 up to past 439, was him saying that he believes Optimus is going to be out and in the public at the end of next year, so the end of 2027. So in the intraday action, that definitely got some traders and some of the market excited. Speaking of getting the market excited, I'm having a tough time with the positioning of this current trade, but let's see how it all goes. I guess because we're about to do the giveaway, maybe I should keep it a little bit tighter, not so much leeway, because we are going to be a little bit busy. So giveaway should be over now. Let's see who won. There you go. There are your 10 winners. All right. So everyone, we picked 5 people from the Discord, the Goonie Trading Discord. We picked, 10, and then we picked 5 from Twitter. So those are our 15 competitors. All of you already selected will be getting a futures account for free. And then the winner of this race is getting $250 of cold, hard cash. So let me get this up and rocking. I have some alerts, breakout alerts, looking for this to be the high or low. Obviously looking for it to push the 1045 high. And then from there, I'd be looking at the intraday highs. Pretty basic setup on the 5-minute chart. And as we're waiting to see if that plays out, let me get the marbles race up and going. Let me get it. Where marbles on stream. All right, cool. Oh, a 15er. That's a big race. That is a big race, team. The old 15er. The old 15 bagger. Let's go. Race. All right. So we are going to be racing on, Haunted Hills. All right. There's going to be 15. Feels like it's going to be a bit spooky. Add name. So we are going to have 15. All right. So from Discord, Steven, followed by Mikey, followed by Nashville. Bees. We got some bees knees in here. Bees. Numb. Love learning. Meme. Aaron. Andrew. And all right. And then in terms of who do we have over here? We have Elon Muskie, Travis, and William. Elon Muskie, Travis, William, old Willie there. And then the final 2 are Dakota and Mr. Dixie Normus. Come on, guys. Mr. Dixie Normus, and then Dakota. All right. Finish. All right. So we got our 15 racers. If you've already been selected, the 10 from Discord, the 5 from Twitter, you already got a free account. We're giving away 5 from Apex, 5 from FFN, and 5 from Lucid. And if you want to buy one of those, I trade on all 3 of them and also take profit on any of those. Code Goonie will get you the best deal. So I will be reaching out to all of you today. And obviously, I'm also going to be reaching out to the winner of said race for the $250 of cold, hard cash. Let's get this ready. We do have a specialty Payday Friday song, so let me track that down to get the right tunes bumping right here. DJ Piper, Payday Friday, a little bit of EDM. All right. Let me just get that.
Friday, make that money.
Whoa. Very loud. And it was given away. Very quickly, just to show you what's going on. Mag 7 popped, pulled back, looks like a higher low. S&P 500 pop, pulled back, looks like a higher low. Momentum, 5 minutes trying to go bullish, 10 minutes trying to save itself, 30 minutes bullish, 4 hours bullish. 5 minute is trying to get bullish on NASDAQ. This is a problem thus far. So the big breakout would be here at like roughly 658, 659. 10 minute also struggling. It's just testing right now. So be careful. 30 minute and 4 hour are bullish. I would say from a structural standpoint, we're just battling it out at the high from yesterday. The SPY's above, the Qs are below. But relative to what we have going on, this right here between 1050 and 11 looks like a higher low relative to what we saw before. So potentially the start of a bullish structure with confirmation of taking out that 1045 high. Once again, yes, I'm looking at the 5 minute, but you could apply this to whatever time frame you care about. I think I'm going to move my alert up a level. Just maybe I should leave it just in case. Let me double check my positions before we really get going on this race. I do have some positions live. They're going. I feel like I should be updating my risk. We're right above that 50%. Hang on. I just need to do a little bit of better risk management, if you guys don't mind. I'm long one there, and I'm long one there. Okay, do I just for the stream, do I just want to go stop to break even? That's a tough call. Or do I want to give it a bit more room, like something like 92, at least for the race? Do I want to lit it risk to 92 for the race, just in case this gets smacked? Oh, decisions. I really think we're going to follow through on this. So I'm going to leave it how it is for the moment. So let's get rocking. We got the music ready to go. You guys are ready to go. At this point in the show, we might as well ask you folks, hang on, we have some double music over here. I don't want to drive you guys absolutely nuts. At this point, what's your best guess? This is a big race. We don't really normally run races of this size, but there are 15 different racers, all with one goal on their mind. Can they be the first one to survive the Haunted Hills race course and be the very first marble to pass the finish line? That is what's in question right now. And folks, you guys know that the only rule is prison rules. There's all that matters is being number one. We're getting some breakout alerts. The bulls are in control, which is the sign that we got to get rocking with this race. Ladies and gentlemen and marbles, please start your engine because we are going in 3, 2, 1. And we are off. Haunted Hills, winner takes all. Let's see who can survive. In fact, let's see who can thrive. Willie with the first. Oh, who's catching the speed up though? Willie leading Nashville. Elon Muskie. Magos now leading, but folks, there's 7 of them. 7 of them who could be taking this race. Who's going to hit the first turn? There is another speed up coming, and it is Willie and Magos. All right, we're seeing some. Oh, no. This is anyone's race, folks. This is anyone's race. Bees takes the lead. Travis shoots out ahead. Uh-oh. Something spooky this way comes. Oh! Whoa! Well, what in tarnation? Travis on his own in the lead, and everyone else is trying to play catch up. Oh, man. We're seeing some spooky stuff come. We're seeing some spooky stuff. Travis, slowly but surely. Magos is back there. All right, Travis, where'd you go, buddy? I lost you. Uh-oh, Travis. I think you're in the lead, but it's not letting me jump to you. I think the ghost got you. There we go. There's Travis. Very dark map. I don't believe anyone's lost their life yet, which is interesting. Greenland PM, the U.S. rhetoric is unacceptable. Well, tell that to the market. Travis, you're leading. No, floating candle. It's getting scary. I might have peed myself already twice today. I don't know who's in the lead. No one knows who's in the lead. We're just all trying to figure out our best. Very, very dark map, but it feels like it's still anyone's race. All right, back into somewhat of a normal ghost Casper-esque funnel here. Travis keeping that lead. Followed by Nat. Oh, I see the finish line. Is anything going to pop out at the end, or will Travis make it? No tricks. No tricks, Travis. You are the winner. You shot ahead before you got in the castle, and you kept the lead. You got through the scary dark, followed by Nashville, followed by Bee's Knees, followed by Meme, followed by Mikey. What a race that was. Congratulations to all competitors, but a specialty shout out for Travis for taking that gold place medal. You have eternal bragging rights forever and ever and ever. I will be reaching out to you, not only to give you the free funded trading account, or eval account, I should say, but also the $250 of cold hard cash. We had a 15-way race today, and Travis is the winner. Huge round of applause. Seriously, that is awesome. Hang on, let me get out of that. Oh, and in the meantime, the market gets a huge round of applause because we are looking purty over here. We are looking awfully purty. You know what? Let's be smart. Stop is to break even. Let's be smart. Stop is to break even. Folks, I can officially tell you, all risk is off the table. All risk off the table. It's a free B trade. If the market rips, cool, I get it. If it pukes and vomits, I'm out for break even. It's a free lotto ticket. When I say a free lotto ticket, I just mean, hey, I took no risk, as if someone just gave me a lottery ticket for free. When I say that, it's like, hey, maybe there's upside, maybe there's a good chance of some downside, but there's no downside to me. That's my point. The stop's at break even. If this rips and goes, cool, I make money. If it turns around, I am out for break even. So I just want to clarify when I'm saying like, oh, it's like a break even trade. I like that it recaptured the 50% retracement. I like that it is holding VWAP. There's a lot of things to like about this. And in fact, what I'm going to do is on this guy, we're going to dump the smaller accounts at 90. And then on the bigger accounts, I'm going to let it run. So that's the plan. That is the plan. That is the plan. All right. It's looking good. I mean, I gave you my levels. I gave you what I thought's going to happen. I explained it. I said above 20, 25. That's the level. We just hit 22. So yeah, 25, I expect a little bit of a hiccup. If we can get above and hold above 25, I'm watching 940. 940 to 950, I expect some bit of a struggle. I like that as a profit target area. And if somehow we break out, my next zone is between 75 and 85. So those would be my bull case zones. And obviously the bear case situation would be a rejection at any of those levels and back down to the previous zone. I'm playing it from major level to level. And what I'm defining these major levels as is where I see all the big money positioning. But I do want you to know we are in negative gamma right now. The support's at 6,900. It's negative gamma all the way up to 40/45. So be careful with like kind of choppiness and larger ranges in here. That is like pretty much the definition of negative gamma. But if momentum does continue, and I'm looking at the momentum of the Mag 7, I hope that the SPY can regain some of the momentum it just had. But as long as that momentum continues, I'm looking for this push through the entire negative gamma zone up until about 940, 945, which, as I've already alluded to, is my next profit. That is the intraday upside gap fill. Market taking a little bit of a hit right now. I hope it doesn't completely come undone. If it does, that's a bummer. But like I said, I am already completely safe. My stop is at break even. The worst case situation for me is I just get out for break even, but that's cool because on my big accounts, I already locked in $1,000. Obviously, I would like for the smaller accounts to keep going. I guess I didn't trade as well on those, but they're really not that far from being break even. At $70, they'll be break even. You know what I'm going to do? We're moving this up to 700 flat. Another $200 in there. Why not? I could even probably at this point on those guys, just to get myself $100 out of the hole, I could probably move it up to 39 at this point. Just tag this most extreme low, but maybe I'll give it a little bit of room just to see how it goes. Folks, Remember, a specialty shout out to Apex. Their current deal does end today. This is the last trading session. Once again, last trading session, code Goonie for 80% off. FFN's running a great deal. So is Lucid. Those were the giveaways of the day. They were the partner of the stream. So shout out to them. The Goonie Discord, free month. We're doing a whole new landing page and a lot of cool things are coming in January, February, March. So that's why everyone's getting the free month with the code Davos. So check that out. We already did the Payday Friday, so we don't need that. Folks, bulls are in control. I'm looking for a continuation to the upside at this point. Things are looking pretty. You know what? I'm going to set the alert there. I'm going to set an alert here. And we're looking pretty good. So happy Payday Friday, Thursday. I do appreciate all the good vibes. In terms of the live show, that's going to be it. There is no live show tomorrow. Your boy has to get his butt on a giant metal bird to get to Los Angeles. I will be back next week. Oh, someone sent a Rumble rant over here. I missed it. A Rumble wallet. Where did it go? Why am I getting the notification right now? Someone on Rumble was generous enough to send a crypto tip. Does it say the name of it? Hang on. Tipped via Rumble Wallet. Oh, it's just now. Sorry. I got the notification before it popped up. Shout out. That's so incredibly kind. That's awesome. Rumble Wallet's one of the coolest things I've been seeing in a minute. Anyway, no stream tomorrow, but we will still be posting pre-film videos. I'm filming videos today that will get posted tomorrow. So no stream. If you're in the Discord and whatnot, obviously I'm going to have plain Wi-Fi, so I'll be on the computer. I'll have my computer. I'll have my phone the entire time. Just no stream. We'll be streaming again next week. And that's kind of it. So update videos still coming out. Streaming will resume next week with the quote unquote normal schedule. And then that's about it, team. That's kind of it, dudes. Of course, if you have any questions on anything, reach out to me right here. You could go to goonietrading.com, contact form. Full name, email, questions, or remarks. You can email me directly there. That's probably the easiest way to get me because I have a specialty email box just for that. Or, of course, you could always DM me on Twitter, Instagram. But probably the easiest and the fastest one is to contact me there or DM me on Discord, whatever. But goonietrading.com, contact right there. Just fill it out, hit that button, and you will be good to go. Folks, thank you so much for the good vibes. Thank you so much for an awesome week. I appreciate all of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll catch you guys on the flippity flip. Have a beautiful day. Peace.